everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sport Federation TV, where we carry on talking about sport in the Western Cape. A number of interesting interviews for you this evening. We'll be catching up in a second or so with Danie Morkel. He is the head of high performance for Western Cape Tennis. They've got some fantastic programs and athletes coming through the ranks. We'll be catching up with Sarah Brody, the president of South Africa Women's Golf, who's of course been instrumental at Cape Town and at a provincial level. And we'll be speaking to Vaughan Marlow, who's a national coach and a high performance coach for water polo. And we'll do a rerun for you of last week's life-saving interview, as well as our catch up with Josh Kluter, the president of Western Cape Kickboxing. But joining me on the line now, the head of high performance for Western Cape Tennis, Danie Morkel. Danie, nice to see you there. Hoe lyk dinge daar, meneer?
Wonderful, JP. Thank you for the opportunity. It's been a tough year, but I think it's looking up to a good year next year. We've got a few exciting things for the future. It's been tough in the tennis, especially in all sporting spheres, and it's been tough to keep our players motivated, and also to keep the coaches busy and to be in a safe environment. But hopefully next year, we're looking forward to a few new initiatives.
I must say, tennis has been, it's been impressive to engage with tennis. We've managed to speak to a number of the high-performance coaches. We've been able to speak to your chairperson, Ria Davids. You guys have been able to at least engage with your athletes all the time. You've been very proactive on getting the return to training programs right and getting back to leagues. I mean, that must have helped you a little bit at least to try and keep people thinking about tennis.
Yeah. I mean, tennis can be played safely in a social distance atmosphere, because the court is quite large. It's not a high density sport, and there are just a few adjustments one can make. And I'm sure we're all aware that the U.S. Open was played, the French Open. They managed to get some of the professional tournaments to be done properly and with very little impact on the players and spectators. We are hosting a Junior International Federation tournament in Strand in 2 weeks' time, and that will be for players in sub-Saharan Africa. We're expecting, and so the International Tennis Federation has also adjusted their strategies. We're looking forward to supporting KwaZulu-Natal with the tournament, to our junior ITF tournaments in January.
It helps that one can put the TV on and see Rafael Nadal and Dominic Thiem and all the superstars on TV on a regular basis. A lot of other sports has not been able to have TV watching experience. So there must be some connection there for your athletes who at least are able to smile and say, well, I'm watching my favorite sport.
That's true. And a lot of people many people aren't aware how many viewers tennis actually attracts, and what age groups tennis attracts is quite often younger spectators. And we've got to change our focus where tennis players and administrators are involved to cater to younger players and social players. Yeah. And we in Western Cape, not only in high performance, obviously there are some high profile players that we have supported over the time, and we're very proud of players like Colin Monsey that plays from Cape Town, Lloyd Harris that plays from Cape Town. And there's also going to be some exciting announcements quite soon about some further tennis, Western Cape tennis stars that have won certain accolades. So that side of it is very good. But I mean, we can certainly do more for the sport. We're quite excited about the new first paddle tennis court that is in Cape Century City. The next thing is
tennis court. Well, you're going to have to explain that to someone like
me. Yeah, that's a new sport. Some of our spectators, some of our viewers might be used to beach tennis, which is a different sport. Right. You know, interestingly, tennis players play tennis, but we're starting to cater for beach tennis, which is for a different profile of participant. And then obviously wheelchair tennis. Western Cape hasn't been the best at wheelchair tennis, but we've got some stars and we've got some projects or programs on the go in Khayelitsha and to a lesser extent in the Cape Winelands and the Durans. But the newest thing is now paddle tennis. It's a sport played in a square, or not a square, a rectangular court with glass walls, with astrograss or artificial grass as a surface, and with a different type of bat. We're very excited because I think that will also cater for a different form of competitor. And then, but then in tennis itself, we're going to we have a few tournaments on the go for next year for our students, and also for our high performance players, our more socialized, and we've got a few partnerships, and the announcement will be made very soon.
Danie, just also, I mean, as a high performance, we often think about the athletes themselves who are high performance athletes, but you being the head of high performance, you also have to think about developing high performance coaches.
That's true. Yeah, I obviously the coaching side of high performance. To my, I'm focusing most on in the Cape Winelands. I'm the chair, so I focus on all the different aspects. My main focus in the Western Cape is just on improved competitions, especially in the open tennis sphere, because we've been lacking in the open tennis sphere for the average to budding professional to the student player. So you're 100% correct. But Tennis South Africa and Western Cape Tennis are aligned with the ITF structures. So we've got upscaling and programs for coaches and development of coaches. We've got a continuous professional education or development part of it, that all coaches have to attend a certain courses every year, which is sponsored by their memberships. And then we have a mentorship program where for development coaches or developing coaches of previously disadvantaged communities, or just players, coaches that haven't had the opportunity. So we're very proud of the mentorship program too. It's sponsored by PNB Paribas, so on RCS. So it's a Tennis South Africa initiative that we participate with, and we share that, and that's also growing in terms of the coaches that are participating or on the program.
Yeah. Danie, how are we doing from a competitive point of view now? Now when I put the Western Cape, the provincial cap on, how are we doing against the other provinces, the Gautengs and the KZNs?
Yeah,
are we standing our ground?
Yeah, I think we definitely do. I mean, as you can see that in our Fed Cup team, on average, 2 or 3 of the players are from out of 4 or 5 are from the Western Cape, and the same for with the Davis Cup team. 3 of the players are from the Western Cape out of 4. So at the highest level, most of the players are from Western Cape. At least we keep them competitive, and they stay in the sport for longer, so that they can compete at that level. When we have competitions, inter-provincial competitions, we still, I mean, we have to divide our teams basically to give everyone in our province opportunities. So we've decided to divide it in regions, so that we can give the other provinces a chance to compete against us. If we had played as Western Cape A, B, and C, it would be an unfair competition with other provinces. So we play in different regions. It gives us it gives each region a responsibility to work towards developing high performance players in their region, which is in our case, we Cape Town Tennis plays separate from Overberg, Cape Winelands, and West Coast, whilst Eden and Central Karoo make up a team. And we obviously, because it's a Western Cape teams, we can share players.
Danie, we're going to leave it at that. We obviously got so much information to get from you, and we'll just say to you thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Tennis, obviously an absolute shining star for sport in the Western Cape. And we're looking forward to catching up with some of your high performance coaches as well that's coming through the ranks, and we'll carry on talking tennis in the near future.
Thank you, JP. Thank you for your work.
There we go, folks. Danie Morkel is, of course, the head of high performance at Western Cape Tennis. And wow, Western Cape Tennis certainly a shining star for sport in the Western Cape. And we look forward to catching up with them. Folks, don't go away. When we come back from a break, we'll carry on talking about sport in the Western Cape.